Alright boys, so today's video we're actually going to be starting off with the whiteboard. So I'm basically going to be making a kind of little spreadsheet of like a pricing and everything that I'm going to be spending on this build. Obviously I'm trying to do it as cheap as possible. I make good money, but I like to, budget build things just to kind of make it a little bit more fun. So this is the official motor for the LS Genesis. This is a, I don't know if you can see it, but right in there it's a 6-liter. And this is a LQ9 out of a something Escalade. So I got this from my old tuner that tuned my 380 out there, and he actually gave this to me for a killer price. I only paid $750 for this motor. It came with the bear block, the heads. It just needs a few things to be complete. Like as you can see, it's missing a few springs, but obviously, that'll be fixed when I get the cam, and then we cam it, and then I'll show you guys how to do all that fun stuff too. It is a little bit crusty. There's a little bit of rust and everything inside the motor, so do plan on taking it apart and having it hot tanked, so it's not perfect. This is a budget build. This isn't meant to be a Texas Speed $14,000 crate motor. I want to do this by myself in my garage, just having fun with it. So I got the motor. I'm gonna start working on this spreadsheet, and then in a few days actually I should have the oil pan and the motor mounts and transmission mounts for this, so we should be able to put this thing in the car and see this thing starting to take shape. It'll be fun. Alright, so there we have it. This is kind of the list of everything that I've spent. All the check marks is everything that I've bought, and everything that's not check marked is everything that I haven't bought. So as you guys can see, we're about halfway done with this build. I can't wait to get the swap kit in and get this motor just sitting in the car and chilling. Then I can put the heads on, clean up the block a little bit, throw the exhaust manifold on, and see how everything looks. So I'll see you guys when the kit comes in, hopefully this week. Alright boys, so today we are going to be doing some wiring. So I got the battery in my car. I'm having a small issue that I know how to fix, and that I will show you guys how to fix. So when you connect it, this is mainly for if you're doing a auto to manual swap, because Hyundai has this auto shifter level. If you connect it and you have your key in, it only switches between on and accessory. It doesn't actually turn off. You can see it's still on in the on mode, on and accessory. Even with the key out, just says key out, it only goes to on and accessory. So it won't ever turn off. So the issue is with this little connector right here. You got to bridge 2 wires, and I will show you guys which wires you got to bridge. Alright, so basically you take the whole shifter assembly out. I already have the battery plugged in, so this works for me. And then you go ahead and you find, where did I put it? This blue and brown wire that's on the very edge. So if you're looking at it like this, it'll be these 2 wires, and then you just bridge them together, and then you have... Okay, well I don't have my key inserted, so with the key inserted, you have power, and then you have an off. Like I said, all you have to do is just tie these wires together after you take it out of the harness, and then you are all set to go. So up next, got kind of a side project. I'm going to be making a slot for this key. So I'm retaining this OEM keyhole thing that I cut out of this bezel, and I trimmed it down nice and smooth, cut off everything else, and I'm going to mount it right in there, kind of facing like that, so that way you can just put the key in if you ever lose it, and it'll be clear for all the wires and stuff. So I'm gonna cut this hole out and then JB weld it. Alright, so I got the box drawn. I decided to move it a bit closer because I forgot that's kind of an e-brake, so I'm gonna cut that out with my Dremel and then go from there. Alright, so little update, we got it nice, and I had it leaning against here, but it keeps wanting to fucking move around. We got it nice and JB welded in there. I did the other side too, so I'm gonna let this cure for about 5 hours and then see if it sets. But for now, we are moving on to the car to extend the wiring. So we got this harness right here that connects to it. So I suck at wiring, so what I'm going to do is cut these 3. Know that these are the top, zip tie these together, then cut the bottom, and then start from there and then move on. Alright, so I got this harness extended all the way down to here, so it's just going to plug in right back here, and then I'm just going to route it nice and neatly, and I'll show you guys what that looks like when it's done. Alright, well, just a little update. I kind of got carried away. Motor's in the car. So I got the ISR swap kit on, as well as the Canton Racing oil pan. I haven't tightened these bolts down yet, just because I'm going to pull the motor back out to wash it, and then when I get the heads sent off to get cleaned, hopefully next week, I'll pull the motor out again. I didn't RTV the pan just because I wanted to see how everything sat, so the pan isn't even bolted on right now. I'm trying to figure out where I want my dipstick to go, and then, yeah. So I had an issue with the ISR kit. Not many people know this, but one arm is actually longer than the other. So the longer arm goes on the driver's side. So it took me a while because the holes wouldn't line up. I'll insert a picture like right up here of what it looked like for me. The holes wouldn't line up, and then everything else was pretty weird. And then I just switched them around, and then they lined up, but this mount was actually nickered off to the left or to the right, so it wouldn't line up with the actual mount. So what I did to fix that is just loosen these 3 bolts, and then it gave this plate enough room to adjust. So yeah, if you guys run into that issue, there's that. And like I said, I have everything bolted on loosely. There's only one head bolt in each head, just because the heads are coming off next week to get cleaned. I have my water pump gasket coming in too with the water pump bolts. And then I actually got bolts for the belly cover because I was just using some BS bolts that I found laying around. And yeah, she's coming together, boys. So I'm excited to hear this thing start and run and chop. Alright, boys, it's been a minute since I picked up the camera, so I honestly don't know where I left off. I think last I showed you I had these long tube headers and this oil pan. So what I've done since then is I've gotten the heads off the car. I painted the block a nice gloss black. It looks pretty good in my opinion. So up next, I don't think I ever told you guys, these were Swap headers for a RX-7 FC, and they actually don't fit. The clearance for this side isn't good. So up next, I guess I'm going to get this oil pan on. I got a new Felpro gasket for it, and then I'm going to get the oil, whatever it's called, relocation kit put on. I don't know the lines for that yet, but we'll cross that bridge when we get there. But yeah, as for now, get the oil pan on and then get it thrown in the car. My cam kit, I haven't ordered yet. I've been way too busy with life, having fun and stuff. But when I get my cam kit, I will take the springs out, the valves out, and then I'm going to have the heads cleaned and then have them a nice polished aluminum. So that should be pretty cool when that happens. But other than that, I guess we'll just get to work. Alright, so we got the engine back in the car. It's chilling on the mounts. It's got a nice coat of black on the side. Looks a hell of a lot better than it did when I first got it. I am going to get the timing cover powder coated, so don't worry about that. I just spent like 10 minutes trying to get this crank pulley off, and it really didn't want to come off. So I just got some other things to do, and then we'll just hop right back into it. Alright, so I figured I'd pick up the camera for this because I'm showing you guys that I'm wiring the push start stuff, and I figured out how to get the push start button to work with the accessory switch. So if you pull out the little thing that connects, I already have it, but in this thing where this connects to your push start, it's going to be this blue wire, and then it's going to be this, I'm colorblind, so I think it's pink and black. It's going to be that blue wire and that pink and black wire. And that blue wire is going to go to your normally closed. The brown wire is going to go to the normally open. And what that's going to do is this push start has a click function. So you push it twice and then it's on. And that's going to be your normally closed. So you're going to push it, it's going to engage it, and then it's going to be on. And your normally on is going to be the one to disengage it because it turns it off, if that makes any sense. And then you're going to have this white cable right here, which is going to be your common. That is going to go to a, for me, a constant 12 volt source, which is going to be, I don't know if I can show you guys, it's going to be the fog lamp. So that's going to be constant 12 volts. It always has 12 volts. So I'm taking that and putting that to my common, and then I'm going to work with the LEDs to work next, which should just be a switch source, which I'm going to use the seat heater. I did this in my Hyundai, and my passenger seat heater doesn't work anymore, so I don't know if that's the reason why. But if you're comfortable losing that, then do it. If not, find something else. But that's what I'm going to do for here, and then I'll show you guys what it looks like when I'm done. Alright, so I got everything connected like I showed you guys. Power goes to the normally closed, the white, and then, or I'm sorry, power goes to the common, which is the white. Normally closed is brown, and then normally open is blue. So if you double click, you can see everything turns on. And if you click singular time, everything just turns right off. And then you're all good to go. That's it. So now we're going to get started with wiring the LEDs to get everything to work when it comes on with accessory. So I'm going to use one single one and then bring it all the way around and then tee it off into 4, which will be the positives on all of these. And then I'm just going to ground all the ground ones to like maybe something right here, maybe one of these bolts. So yeah, we'll do that. Alright, so we got everything wired up. What I think I'm going to do here is I'm going to keep these two right here on their own separate things, so that way when I turn the car on, only this light and this light comes on. For some reason, this one isn't wanting to come on anymore. I don't know if this one is actually backlit or if not. But this one, all the others work. They still glow except for this one, so I think I might have blew the fuse trying to figure out the wiring. But I think when the accessory kicks on, I'm just going to have these two pop on, so that way I know that these two are on, and then when I push the fuel pump, then the light's going to come on, and when I push the fans, then the light's going to turn on again, if that makes sense. But these two are always going to remain on, just because, you know. So yeah. Alright, so we're going to do a little bit of an outro, I guess, because this video is already 10 minutes long. I don't know if I showed you guys, but I painted the block. It's all nice and sleek black. So I showed you guys the wiring, I showed you guys the engine, the mounts. One thing I didn't show you is I have this oil filter relocation thing set up. I need some dash 10 AN lines to get that sorted out. And then up next is for the heads. I still have to get them sent off to get cleaned. I've been spending a bit of money doing something else. After that, it's the cam, put the heads on, torque them all down, and then I need a wiring harness, and then I need a ECU, and then I will get back to wiring everything else and try to get this car to start. Oh, I still need a fuel pressure regulator and my fuel return, and then an intake, and then I need to set up the drive-by cable. But other than that, I mean, yeah. So I will see you guys in part 5, I guess. Thanks for watching.